Is Howie Roseman a certified genius, or is he playing a dangerous game of financial chicken that's about to blow up in Philadelphia's face? What if I told you the Eagles just pulled off a magic trick that shouldn't be legal under NFL rules, turning a mediocre pocket of change into a massive war chest in less than 7 days? There's a storm brewing in Philly, and by the time this video ends, you'll see exactly why the rest of the NFC is terrified of what's coming next. Before we dive in, smash that subscribe button if you want the fastest NFL updates on the planet. The NFL offseason isn't just about big hits and 40-yard dashes. It's about the salary cap masterclass we are witnessing right now in the front office. Every single fan knows that when the weather warms up and the draft boards come out, it is officially Howie season. While other teams are throwing desperate money at aging veterans, the Eagles are playing 4D chess with the books. We started the week with a modest $12, $5 million in spending money, ranking us right in the middle of the pack. But in the blink of an eye, that number skyrocketed to $40 million. How does a team nearly triple its buying power while everyone else is struggling to stay under the limit? It started with a move that caught everyone off guard, the arrival of Rick Woolen. Now, people were shocked to see a player of his caliber heading to the city of brotherly love on a one-year deal. On paper, it looks like a $15 million commitment, but the reality is much more insane. His actual cap hit for this year is a tiny $3. $4 million. That is pure robbery. By bringing in a 25-year-old starting corner with all-pro upside to pair with young stars like Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, the secondary just went from a question mark to a potential lockdown unit. But that was just the appetizer. The real disaster for the rest of the league is how the front office is manipulating future years to win right now. But wait until you hear how they handled the veterans who were supposed to be cap casualties. Who is the one player the Eagles absolutely cannot afford to lose this year? Drop a name in the comments right now. Let's talk about the big bodies up front. Jordan Davis is the anchor of this defense, and his recent contract extension was a work of art. By locking him in at a $26 million average annual value, the team didn't just secure the interior. They opened up $8 million in immediate room for 2026. Then you have Michael Carter. A few months ago, everyone was calling him a cut candidate. His $10, $1 million cap hit was way too high for his current production. But instead of a betrayal where he's sent packing, the team renegotiated. They're even cross-training him at safety. That move alone carved out another $6 to $9 million in space. Even the offensive line, which saw Landon Dickerson struggle through an injury-plagued season where he looked like a shell of himself, got the Howie treatment. Dickerson went from being the highest-paid guard in the sport to having a restructured deal that gives the team massive breathing room in 2028. It's a constant cycle of pushing money into the future. But here is the kicker. The haters who say these void years will kill the franchise are completely wrong. The strategy is simple but brilliant. As the NFL salary cap continues to explode upward every year, the blow of these future payments gets softer and softer. The Eagles are using next-level mathematics to stay competitive while other teams are forced into rebuilds. But the biggest shocker of the week wasn't a trade or a cut. It was the decision regarding Dallas Goedert that changed everything. The tension was palpable. The team moved his void date back once, then twice. Fans were biting their nails, thinking one of the best tight ends in franchise history was heading for the exit. If he left, the Eagles would have been slammed with a $20 million dead cap charge. Instead, he signed a one-year, $7 million deal. To put that in perspective, a backup tight end for the Ravens just got more money than Goedert. That is the definition of a masterclass. It keeps a top-tier playmaker in the building for a fraction of his market value. But why all this extra cash? Why go from $12, $5 million to $40 million in a week? Is there a blockbuster trade lurking in the shadows? The phones in Philly are burning red hot right now, and one name keeps popping up, Jonathan Goedert. Imagine a pass-rushing rotation featuring Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt, and Goedert. That is a nightmare scenario for any quarterback in the league. Goedert is a beast against the run and a consistent sack artist. Bringing him in would require a reworked extension, and guess what? That $40 million in cap space makes it look easy. But wait, there's a massive elephant in the room. What about the rumors that the Eagles are secretly preparing to move on from their biggest superstar? Let's address the A.J. Brown drama. There's been so much fake news floating around claiming the team can't afford both Brown and Goedert. Let's clear the air. That is a total myth. They have the money to keep both. However, the way the Goedert deal was structured makes a potential A.J. Brown trade much more palatable from a math standpoint. If they traded Brown before June 1st, they'd eat a $43 million dead cap hit. That would be a disaster. But after June 1st, that number drops to $16. $4 million. Because of the savings from the other deals, the front office now has the flexibility to survive that hit if they truly wanted to. Now, don't panic. It doesn't mean it's happening today. But let's be real. When a player seems unhappy behind the scenes, smoke usually leads to fire. If a team offers a first and a second-round pick, the Davante Adams price tag, the Eagles are now financially equipped to say yes. And it's not just about the veterans. We have a massive draft coming up in April with premium picks and compensatory selections. A chunk of that $40 million is already earmarked for the incoming rookies. Plus, the team is looking at the top free agents list like a kid in a candy store. Could they grab a speed threat like Marquise Hollywood Brown to replace the hit or miss production of past deep threats? Or maybe a veteran edge like Calais Campbell for a cheap depth piece? The options are endless because the mathematical strategy being executed right now is flawless. While the rest of the league is playing checkers, the Eagles are playing high-stakes chestnut checkers. They're building a roster that can compete for a trophy in 2026, 2027, and even 2028, where they currently have over $113 million in projected space. The critics can talk all they want about void years and salary cap hell, but the numbers don't lie. Philadelphia has gone from the middle of the pack to the 10th most cap space in the NFL in 7 days. They are loaded, they are aggressive, and they are hunting for another ring. Is Jonathan Grenade the missing piece to a Super Bowl defense? Or should the Eagles save that money for a Jalen Carter mega extension?